Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week, we have quite a few races to talk about. Some surprise finishes, some not. And, I don't know, some news also has come through. But before we get to that, Taylor, we have a fun weekend planned for us.
Yes, we do. Yay! It's IMSA weekend. I'm so excited.
So I get to finally dust off the marshalling boots for this week.
Yes, and add 3 more days to your little QE log card.
Oh, I'm going to come in as a total fucking noob. It's going to be great.
You'll pick it back up like it was just yesterday when you were waving those flags for a car on fire.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping I can just be on, like, stand there and look pretty duty. I think I can be qualified for that.
Half of that.
Yeah, the stand there part, definitely.
We'll see. We'll see where the cookie crumbles.
Yes, I am already. I have. I just got the Amazon box behind me still. Got a mattress for my car to sleep in for the week or for the weekend. I have an extra pair of pants. I went with 2 sizes. I got a 38 and a 36 because I'm assuming it's going to be so fucking hot. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. It's supposed to be close to 40 degrees.
I did not check the weather. I'm so glad you did.
It's like it's mid-30s with like the Q&X feeling like almost 40.
Yeah.
If we don't lose, we should do the whole like thing that the race car drivers do and weigh ourselves before the start of the day and then weigh ourselves after the start of the day and see if we actually lose weight.
Honestly, I'd be down. I think that'd be hilarious.
I'll bring a scale. That would be hilarious.
It's the only way I'll actually lose weight finally. Maybe.
Doubtful.
Well, it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, Sunday feels like 35.
Oh.
Saturday 34. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Yay.
Well, the weather sounds disgusting, but the racing will be fun. We get the Mazdas. I'm so excited. It's going to be great.
I will try to manipulate a race any way I can to get Parker Thompson to win. So that's my goal for the weekend. I was like, if I have to jump onto the track and cause a red flag, I will do that.
No, you will not.
Depending where I am.
And how much money he put down on it.
Ooh.
Aww.
I like the way you think, Steven.
No.
So yeah. Anything else for that?
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Hear the enthusiasm. He's oozing it.
Oh, I just cannot wait to wear my absolutely ridiculously massively brimmed hat.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
the Marshall hat.
Yep. It's actually a golf. It's the Titleist golf hat. It's just like the stupid wide brim one. Yeah.
Do you
It's
have
great.
like full long sleeve? Are you doing like the full old Asian person look? Like no sun shall touch
100%.
me. I don't care that it's 40 degrees. All long sleeves.
Exactly. I mean, my original idea is to get a full 3-piece suit in white.
That would be funny.
That would be.
It
And
wouldn't
imagine
stay
like
clean.
So
a
not
nice
practical.
nice top hat too.
I mean, honestly, I feel like they would love that because it'd be so funny, but it's so not practical. What if you have to respond? I mean, you're a QE, so you wouldn't respond. But in the future, if you did that,
I'd fucking respond to a 3-piece suit. If fucking James Bond can do all the shit he does in a fucking suit, why can't I?
Some guy running with a 3-piece suit and with like a fire extinguisher ready to go.
Okay, can you imagine the look of that of a guy running to an accident with a fire extinguisher, full 3-piece suit, and a top hat?
The top hat just flies off halfway through, like, to the scene.
No, you got to pin it in. You got to make sure it's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Full
All right.
commitment.
That's dedication.
Definitely. I mean, if you're already doing that, you might as well commit all the way.
True.
Now imagine if you had your entire marshalling club all committed to the 3-piece suit look.
That would never happen.
Yeah, because it's too
But
fucking
it would be
expensive.
hilarious.
Oh, it'd be so funny. Like, can you imagine the social media interaction of that too? Like that could go viral. Of all the marshals in suits around a track.
Oh, absolutely.
You know where they would have that? I bet.
Where?
Thermal Club.
Yeah, they can
Those
afford
rich
that.
fucks. Deck out all their marshals. That'd be amazing. If they stole that idea and actually did that, I wouldn't even be mad. I honestly wouldn't be mad.
That's fair.
That'd be funny. Oh,
Yeah, speaking of stealing ideas, actually, I have no idea where I was going with that. I was going to make a bad. I was going to make a bad joke about NASCAR stealing its own idea from last year at Chicago and having a boat race.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if you want to start with NASCAR. Do you want to start with the British Grand Prix? Do you want to start with IndyCar's first hybrid race? Where do you guys want to go with this?
Oh. Well, I feel like you already attempted a segue into NASCAR, so we might as well just start with that.
Okay, fantastic. Because there's no way in hell you actually watch this.
Yes, I did.
Bullshit.
I did.
All of it? When did you give up? Was it the first rain delay?
No. There was the second. Okay, there was the first big. No, the first rain delay was before the race even started. Then the second rain delay happened, and then why?
She named 2
And
rain
then-
delays. Yay!
Shh. And then the caution happened with Larson. And it was after that caution that I was like, I think it was like 8 something. I was like, there's no way they're finishing this race.
Yep, and that's, I guess, close enough.
I feel like it was close, like pretty close to when they actually called it. Because I think they said that they were going to call it around like 8:20 or something. And when I turned it back on, Larson crashed. And I was like, that's it.
They finished the race under green.
Wow. I'm actually
Yeah.
really shocked about that because it was like, I honestly was like, this is going to take way too long. Ain't going to happen. But okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. So
Good for them.
before we get, into the full details of the race and give our opinion, so what happened was, for anyone that did not watch the NASCAR race, we had NASCAR on the streets of Chicago again. And just like last year, it rained because they started the race at like 4 something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was like 4 o'clock on the 4 o'clock local time, so 5 o'clock our time. So they started the race. First, it got delayed a bit because of rain. Then they decided to give them decision of, do you want to start on slicks or rain tires? That was really interesting for the first stint because, guys were unsure of, what tire to be on, if the slick was going to hold out through the small bits of rain they had. Then the rain finally came at the end of the stint. Or the end of the stage, I should say. And they didn't pit them until they finished the actual stage because they didn't want pit stops to decide who won the stage. So that was a weird choice. Stage 2 happened, and basically they red flagged it because there was too much rain. We had a few 2-hour delay, maybe 3 actually.
It was a long delay.
It was, honestly. Only for them to go back racing. I think it was, at about 7:30 local time. Because that gave them 1 hour left, and they had announced that the race was going to conclude at 8:30 local time because that's when they ran out of sunlight. And they weren't going to make it an arbitrary call. They're like, okay, we're changing this race. It's going to be a timed race now. We're into the third stage, you know. By whatever time this ends at is when race ends. And honestly, that was a freaking fantastic call. And you had a couple things happen along the way in the race. You know, favorite Shane Van Gisbergen got wrecked.
Yeah, that was so disappointing. He was running really well too up until that point.
Larson, another favorite, got wrecked. Yes, and there was some drama afterwards, but in the end, Alex Bowman got a win. Mm-hmm. And that pissed me off.
Why?
Why?
Let me guess. Who did you have?
You had Tyler Reddick.
I had Reddick, yes.
You had Reddick, right? Of
but
course
no,
you did.
It was actually about 10 laps into the race. I'm like, you know what? I should live bet Bowman. I just had a feeling of live betting Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do it. So.
Oh. Well, that explains why you were mad.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he looks pretty strong to start the race. His car looks like it has some pace. Then I think he got into it with someone. I was like, you know what? Maybe I won't. He got into it with, I think it was Bubba. Oh. So I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? Maybe he's got some damage. He may not be fast. We won't do it. Bad fucking move there. But,
yep.
So what did we learn?
Always go with the gut.
Yes.
I think this is terrible.
Trust your
advice.
gut.
Please, no one listen to this.
Yeah. You're not at risk saying that until we're sponsored by a gambling site. Then you have to disclaim that.
I can disclaim myself, and I shouldn't listen to myself half the time.
I mean, I would disclaim that for you, to not listen to you.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, NASCAR is the only one I lost this week, so go me.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, all right.
Yes, so... Yeah, what do you guys think of the NASCAR race as a whole? What do you, or let's, I guess, make this a little less broad. What do you think of the NASCAR Chicago street circuit? Do we continue with this experiment, or should we kill it?
Kill it now. I honestly hated it. Well, okay. It's interesting. I just don't think it works. And, like, first off, if you're going to do the street circuits, please, for the love of everything, just take away the stages. Because I feel like that just makes it clunkier. It's already clunky looking because I feel like NASCAR, like, everyone's so used to seeing the models, right? It's what they usually race. I don't know. It was just... Visually, I didn't like it. I feel like they didn't have any speed. I don't know.
It's not a fast
It just looked
circuit.
weird. It also, like, the circuit itself looks so odd.
There's some really
like
fucking
too
narrow
square.
parts.
Yeah. And maybe we just give up on Chicago having good weather in early July.
Or move it earlier in the day, where you
So
can
that
give
way you
yourself
can-
more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Like-
The David Land rule, yes.
Yes, exactly. Now, people have said the event's very good for an event. They have a bunch of concerts. They bring a lot of people in. It's good for that. But is it a good race? If you want to stay and watch literally asphalt dry, yeah, it can be a good race.
Yeah.
But it's such a commitment to go and 2 years in a row you get this rain issue. It's hard to drain street tracks as it is.
Yeah.
Like it's a tough one. Like I kind of like it, and I like the idea of it, but the execution just has not been there the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you almost need to give it a third try just to see if you can get a dry race and truly get a good idea of how this race would look like without the rain.
Yep.
You know, basically the anti F1 rule where you want every race to be with the rain and see how it shakes out because it'd probably be more entertaining. But like, yeah, everybody
Is
was
that foreshadowing?
maybe a little bit. Yeah, everybody, like all the reports from like the on-site fans was that it's a really good event, like you said, and part of the problem is it just doesn't translate to TV as well. Now, again, is that because of the rain or because it's a bad course? we can't really say because we don't have anything to compare it against other than having rain delays, which is going to sour your mood if I don't know when I can sit down. Like if you're at the track, you know you're going to be there all day. You don't have an option. If I'm going to go sit down in front of my TV and watch, I don't want to be sitting in front of my TV for 7 hours watching commercials and then like getting up and coming back, because like you probably planned this is going to be my 2 or 3 hours of doing nothing and I'm going to do other shit. So I don't know. I feel like you almost need to give it a third run and just hope, like Taylor said, hope you get some dry weather. That's all you need at this point.
If you try it for a third year and you get the same issue where it rains out again, then you have to look at it like, okay, the racing gods do not want this to be an event.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. At that point, give up.
And like, I don't actually know when it comes to the event, do they have any actual support races? Or is it just concerts and then a race? And if that's all you're offering as an event, I don't think that sells as much as like what IndyCar does with their street races, where you have like 4 or 5 different series there. You can go for a whole day of racing. Like you don't need just to have all these big name concerts to draw people in. People are there for the motorsports.
Yeah. But they do have the Xfinity race. I don't know if they what else they have though. I'm trying to see if there's like a full.
But like, yeah, I think the Xfinity race was on the Saturday.
Yeah.
But that still means, okay, you're starting this race at 4. What are you doing all day? Like, I feel like these events could be made a lot more efficient. Like, even the Toronto race starts at 1:30. Like, and that's like a normal in the streets street track that has to be opened by Monday.
Yeah, like it's concerts, radio show, pre-race, Keith Urban,
Big name.
driver intro. Yeah, like there isn't really any on-track stuff from the looks of it.
So yeah, I would definitely say if you're going to keep the race going, try to get something else there. Because like, I actually don't think the track's terrible. It's simple. It's kind of wacky, but it's kind of fun. Especially that like big left-hander towards the end of it as they're going like around the what's it called? I can't name what the heck part of Chicago that is, or whatever park it is. But anyway, you know, like the big long left-hander they go through.
Grant Park.
That's the thing. Yep. So.
Yeah. But yeah, start it earlier. Give it another try. Hope for better weather. Like you can't happen a third time, right? Third time's the charm.
Monkey paw curls.
Yep.
Hurricane. Could have had that actually.
Yeah.
We're not too far from that one. That's what we get here the next 2 days. Which actually is fantastic. That clears up here right before the IMSA race. So, thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you, weather gods or gods. I don't know, Zeus maybe.
Zeus.
I do want to talk about the idea of making a timed race though, because I thought that was a fantastic call by NASCAR to say, okay, we're going to this time. Be damned. Your strategies for that. Do with that what you will.
Yeah.
And I was listening to like NASCAR radio, and someone even said like, why don't we actually bring back time races? You know, kind of go back to that endurance racing style of what NASCAR got its fucking roots in, and say, okay, let's go have 2 hours at whatever track. Easy on stages. Okay, one stage is half hour. Second stage, another half hour. Hour for the final stage.
Yep.
Give yourself time, not laps.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, making the call this week, they sort of didn't have a choice because I'm sure you got to shut it down by a certain point. But yeah, like, going forward, 1 or 2 races. Sure, why not? Test it out at least for some of these.
Yeah. Why can't? Okay, great idea. Now, let's go Clash at. Get the Clash. Let's bring the Clash back to Daytona. Put it on the road course. Make it a timed race.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you're gonna keep like your marquee events like your Coca-Cola 600, your
Obviously.
Daytona 500. Those ones you're gonna keep. But yeah, like take some smaller venue, or not smaller venues size wise, but like the ones that aren't necessarily tied. Like this is the Grant Park 165.
But
So-
I think it works better on road courses than it would like. It would be good for like a Sonoma. It would be good for Watkins Glen,
Yeah.
Roval. Maybe that's how you spice up the Roval. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think there's talk of that going away, right? Wasn't that off the schedule? I can't remember if they announced that yet.
Don't remember.
But like, you could do definitely some fun things by having a timed race.
There's my full schedule here. Yeah. Again, like when your entire schedule is just 400, 500, whatever, how many laps or miles, yeah, switch it up a little bit. 4 hours at Daytona Road Course.
And also, you would know for
6
those
hours at the
events-
Brickyard.
Like, imagine for those events, you don't get overtime because you know it's a timed event. Okay, we're not going to get any kind of shenanigans or multiple restarts. Like a guy like Joey Logano is not going to come and fuel save his way to the end. But maybe you could if you know how to fuel save to the hour mark.
Yep.
And also, it adds that tension where maybe there's a late race caution. Like, oh shit, are they going to be able to get back green? I don't know. Versus, okay, well, there's a wreck with 3 to go, and we'll just try it again. Versus, you want that guy to get that white flag and have that lead and be like, okay, next flag ends this. Someone wreck, or, in this case of this week where you had Reddick really pouring on the pressure to Bowman at the end. If something like that happens where, maybe Reddick doesn't put it in the wall in the last lap and kill his car, you have a chance of maybe a battle. And, again, that tension's ramped up. And, if it's a good tension, that's kind of what makes a good race.
Yeah, but it's NASCAR. They won't be adventurous and try something new. We know that. Come on.
That's fair. Anyway. Any other final thoughts on NASCAR Chicago?
I wish Joey Hand had won this race. That would have been hilarious. 2 years in a row, virtual nobody in the sport wins it.
Yes.
That would be hilarious. But alas, still top 5
Yeah,
after starting 38th
performance.
too.
Yeah, very good performance. Taylor, your thoughts after you apparently watched the whole thing?
It was a race. I mean, I was proud of myself for watching as much as I did, even if I didn't watch fully to the end because of rain delays. But honestly, I don't know. Try it for one more year, see what happens next year. We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I guess we'll move on to F1.
Go from one rain race to another.
Listen, I don't know if Taylor wants to talk about F1.
Why not?
What happened to Leclerc? What happened, Taylor? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
What did Ferrari
I don't wanna talk
strategists
about
do? Okay, well, I'll let you talk about the race as a whole. So go ahead. Give us a rundown of what happened.
Future Ferrari driver Lewis Hamilton won the race. Yay!
And spent the next 24 hours saying, "Why did I decide to go to Ferrari?"
I know. Mercedes is looking real good, but let me tell you something. The amount of joy I felt when Russell retired. Immense. Immense joy.
I'll be honest.
And it made me...
I liked what Russell did at the end of the race, though.
What?
I liked what
The what?
Russell did at the end of the race when he was like congratulating Lewis.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a big deal.
Yeah,
And
he,
good
he
for
won some
like
points
I
back.
was so happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if he didn't do that, he would be like it would be pretty awful of him to not do that, especially like I mean, it was such a special race for Lewis. He broke a record
Yep.
again. But you could tell just how important that race was to him, and I think I don't know, like I can't remember the last time that Hamilton got emotional about a win, if he ever has.
Yeah, like
Like
actually
visibly.
crying afterwards. Yeah, that was good to see.
It's also been
Yeah.
900 days since he's had a win, so you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even just getting to that point is a very distant memory.
Like the race as a whole was very good, and we can go over different parts of the race, but the ending really was just that crescendo of emotion of being like, oh wow, he's actually won it. Because there was definitely times there where you thought, I don't know if he's gonna hold on with those tires, and Max was coming, so it was nice to see Lewis win again, being emotional. I think him knowing this could be his last British Grand Prix victory.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
Ferrari. It's okay. Ferrari will win
I
next
think
week.
though
Or 2 weeks.
maybe. I think there is something to be said though for how good Lewis is in terms of his decisions in the car. Like I think it shows his maturity in terms of race management when like you heard the radio, they asked him, the rain is coming. Should we go? It's your call. And he said, no, not yet. There's like tons of dry space on the track. And he has the ability to know when to make the actual call, right? When to pit. And I think that's the major difference between him and Leclerc. And maybe him being at Ferrari, Leclerc could actually learn from him, because at the end of the day, it is a driver decision. And time again, I think Leclerc makes the wrong call because he can't see long term or read the track properly. I don't know.
That's actually a great point. And yeah, like we've seen that twice now with rain this year where Leclerc has completely botched the strategy or the tire call or whatever. And yeah, you can blame the team, but I definitely think the Leclerc one this week was on him. And the same thing I think for Perez, because they both kind of made those calls at the wrong time. And maybe it's them kind of feeling a little bit of pressure. We can talk about Perez in a bit too, but yeah, I think there's probably some pressure on Leclerc. He hasn't had the couple good races, hasn't had some good results. The Constructors is even getting closer and closer. And okay, side note, the vindication for me. What did I say post Canada? What did I say post Canada?
Yeah.
No, what did I say?
Mercedes is coming. Don't count Mercedes out. I think Mercedes is gonna start showing up and doing really well. Yeah. You were right. Okay.
I didn't just say that. I said I think Mercedes have the best car.
Yes, you did say that.
They've won 2 out of 3 races.
All right.
And they could have easily had a 1-2 in this race.
They could have.
I mean, if it's woulda, coulda, shoulda also this race, Piastri got fucking robbed.
McLaren decided to copy notes out of Ferrari's book in terms of strategy. Twice.
No, I think McLaren went, we want the Brit to win. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
Well,
I mean, even then, it's not like Piastri was leading and then Norris went in early for an undercut. Norris was leading. You could have double stacked and
100%.
lost a second.
Yeah.
But no, we had to do something stupid and say, we'll send them both,
But
or we'll split the strategy.
Yeah, and what tires did they put Piastri on?
Intermediates, didn't they?
No, after the pit stop.
Oh, afterwards it was the medium.
Which was the better tire.
The better tire.
So, okay, let's go to that part of the race where, rain's coming down finally. We're into the wet running. We're into the inters. Then it starts to dry up. All the teams have a call to make it it's when it starts to rain for the first time, teams have a call to make of when to pit. They don't pit Piastri. They pit Norris, and they leave Piastri out.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Piastri got back in the pits, they had caught him.
Yep.
So Piastri lost almost an entire pit stop worth of time to the top 5.
Oh my god.
Versus the one, even so, let's say they have a slow stop. Let's say it's a 4-second stop. So 4 seconds plus the 2 seconds for, or we'll call it a 1.5 seconds for waiting for Norris. Okay, so you lose 5 seconds or so on a slow stop if McLaren makes a slow stop versus the 25 seconds that they ended up losing. It just doesn't make any sense. You saw the times getting slower and slower and the rain coming down more. I don't get the call at all. Even if it is, we prefer Norris to win.
How many seconds?
Norris would have had the advantage.
How many seconds did Piastri lose by from Hamilton?
He was what, 12 seconds back?
Yep. How many back from Lando? 6.
6.
If they bring Piastri in and put him on the proper tires and then do everything else correctly the rest of the way, yep, Piastri wins that race.
Yeah, well, that's assuming that they still stick Norris out on the soft tires.
True.
Which was also the wrong call. I don't get that.
But that was Norris's call.
I know.
Don't let him decide that.
Yeah. No, like I just don't get why you would want the softs at a higher deg track when you have the advantage. You like that one of the radio messages was, I'm pretty sure we have an extra set of mediums over the other teams. And I'm sitting there like, this is perfect. You should use those because you'll have the advantage because Max can only go on to hards. Lewis can only go on the softs, so he's going to be praying that those hold out as long as possible, or he's going to have to nurse the hell out of them. Take the mediums and burn the shit out of them.
Though I had no doubt Lewis was going to hold on to those softs because, like, beginning of the race, you saw the first stint, cars lasted 12 laps and that was no problem.
Yep.
So you knew he would have had it, but like pace-wise, and like low fuel too, pace-wise, was it going to fall off and could the other guys come back also in the mediums? The answer was yes to both. They were coming at him, but Lewis was able to hold them off. And like really, it just goes back to what Taylor said. Like, yeah, Lewis was the guy for the moment. He's the guy that could think it through. He was...
Yep.
The veteran side of him came out, didn't make a mistake. Every other team made a mistake. And I think it's simple as that. That the team that was the best on the day, that put every foot right, was Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes.
Yep. McLaren had 2 glaring mistakes, one for each driver. So that's where they lost. That's where they lost. We'll say at very least, they lost second place. They maybe lost Piastri also getting on the podium as well.
Yep.
So they lost where is it? So like the drivers, I mean, it's just trying to take little chunks here and there out of Max. But so you ended up losing points to Max when you could have at the very least had second, maybe first, and had one spot in between. So it's a big swing there. But you could have been tied with Ferrari coming out of this weekend, or possibly even ahead of Ferrari.
Yeah.
In the constructors, and within 70 points of Red Bull.
Yep.
That's massive. That, like, if it comes down to, say, 8 points at the end of the season for the drivers, you're going to look back at this race.
Yeah.
And say this is where they probably lost it. Like, because you could say, yeah, last week at Austria, puncture is going to happen. It's unlucky that you couldn't get the car around. And the other guy could.
100%.
So, yeah. But, so hopefully everybody in McLaren learns from this. And I know so Taylor was saying, it's on the driver to make a decision. Sometimes, though, as the team, you do have to say, shut up, we know what we're doing. We're making the call for you.
100%.
You can say when you want to come off the inters. We're telling you what tire you are putting on because we know it will do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And especially, and everybody knew it too, because the entire time the commentators were like, that McLaren, it won't be fast on the first 5 laps, but the next 15, it'll be the best car on the grid. Once that comes in, it'll be good. And you won't get that with the soft tires.
Yeah.
So, frustration.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to shout out 6th place finisher again, Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah, so
As-
confused.
Has more point. The stat of the week is he has more points in the last 2 races than Checo has in the last 6,
That's
Okay.
so bad.
which is
All right,
terrifying.
Listen, the Checo
Good
conversation's
segue.
next. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good segue to the Checo conversation because what is going on?
Hulkenberg though, fantastic, great result, good for Haas. That's some 2 big
Yeah.
weeks with some good points. They are firmly out of the bottom 3, I think, for this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fighting now. RB Cash App something, yada yada.
Yeah.
So they're fighting them now. They're only 4 points behind them in the championship. Good turnaround by Aston Martin also, with 7th and 8th, and Stroll beating Alonso in race and qualifying.
Question mark.
Interesting.
Listen, we shit on Stroll a lot, but he's been doing a lot better, I think, than we give him credit for when it comes to the teammate matchup. Okay,
Yeah.
Stroll and Alonso, what's the qualifying? What's the record between the two of them this season? Top of your head, just take a guess what you feel like it is.
I'm going to say Stroll is up by 1.
Do you think, really?
It's
Is that what you feel?
Yeah.
No. I would say Alonso qualifies Stroll by like 2.
8-7. Alonso beats Stroll.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very close. The only teammate pairing that's closer is Leclerc Sainz at 8-6. So, Stroll's coming to his own. He's actually, I think, had a pretty decent year. At least
Yeah.
against his teammate and what the Aston Martins can do. Alonso had a couple early season better results.
To say he's still 22 points back.
True. No, he is. But I don't think his pace is that far off Alonso's.
Yeah. I think they're both doing the best that they can with the car that they currently have.
Agreed. And yeah, of course you'd expect them to be good today. Well, let's say, but this week, I guess, at their home track. They have a lot of data running around there. They know that track well. You should be good there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So, speaking of not being good, Sergio Perez been out-qualified by Logan Sargent more times this year, I think.
Which is the more damning stat? The Hulkenberg points or being out-qualified by Sargent?
Sargent.
Yeah, Sargent.
Though he
Yeah,
had a decent race too. We can't, he didn't get points and stuff, but where did he finish?
12th in the Williams is...
You know what?
Or no,
he
sorry.
was
Right.
sniffing. He was, honestly, he had a good
11th.
race.
11th in the Williams.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good.
He will get a point this year, I
So-
guarantee it. Sargent gets a point.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. I cannot see a world in which there's not a big question mark about whether or not this contract that Perez just signed actually holds. Because I feel like we saw the tweet. There's clauses, I'm sure. And currently he is not meeting those performance clauses.
Allegedly.
So-
We don't know the actual details of the contract. but-
Allegedly. Yes, allegedly. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think he's got a week. If he doesn't have
week?
one more race. If he doesn't
Okay.
pull his shit, maybe 2.
You give him
Summer
2
break.
because 2 is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 is summer break.
So you
Yeah,
give him
I was
Hungary,
just about to ask
you
that.
give him Spa, you get to the break, and it's okay.
Mhm.
If you're continuing to be out in Q1, not be in the points, in, I don't know, 3rd best car in the grid?
Yeah.
Red Bull's not the best car in the grid anymore. Like, there's some issue there that I think needs to be addressed.
Absolutely.
But then the next question is, okay, who do you replace him with?
For the
Carlos
season?
Season and next year.
For the season,
Oh,
you
you're
just...
saying he's done
Oh,
for the
yeah.
season.
I think he gets. It's Red Bull. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough then.
don't
Gasly
put
wasn't even
those-
this bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. This season, it's probably... You probably throw Ricardo in, I guess.
And
That's
then
a
Lawson
mistake, but
and
okay.
the V carb.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Lawson, yeah.
Well, I was going to say just a swap. I wasn't even going to kick him out completely, but...
I feel like though I don't know, like I feel like with the conversation, I guess from Marco about Lawson and the fact that he will have a seat at some point in Formula One, you wonder if they would just be done because I mean VCARB really is a feeder team for Red Bull. We know that. I doubt Yuki
Yes.
would be the one coming out, so I don't think they would just put Perez back. I think they would just be done.
No, I'd agree with that. Honestly, I think you could definitely see. I think you should see Perez and Ricardo be out of F1 end of the year. I don't doubt that's still not a possibility, but like, yeah, if they just kind of keep up this performance, they have no choice but to make a change, get another driver in there. Honestly, I would say Yuki. I think he deserves it more than anyone else. He's done everything except be white for Red Bull, apparently. But everything is pointing towards Ricardo taking that seat.
Yeah, which is, I wouldn't agree with that.
No, I'd put Lawson in that seat over Ricardo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there hasn't been enough out of Ricardo to say he definitively deserves it. Yuki, despite struggling a bit this year, has shown in the past that he can outperform a car. I'd say he's been a good foot soldier for the last year and a half in terms of being patient and waiting. Especially, I'd say the last, 16 months or so, watching the slow decline of Perez.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really? You don't think I deserve a seat yet?
Seriously, yeah.
So, yeah. If it's going to be someone, it should be Yuki. And if it's going to be Ricardo, then you know that's got to be a stopgap to get Lawson in the car.
Definitely replace the one
And just
Aussie with
say-
the other.
Yeah, and just say, yeah, we're just going to keep Yuki at the second team.
Definitely.
So, it's going to be an interesting next 2 races into summer break.
Do you think Perez is in the car by summer break?
No. Well, by summer break, yes. After summer break, no.
Yeah, I think they'll give him the 2. Because I think if the rumored point gap is the thing where it's like
point
100 or
clause?
something points, yeah, the 100
Yeah.
points by summer break, he could still be within it technically. I don't see him hitting it though, but they'll give him the 2 chances to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not mathematically eliminated, but I am probably eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just has to win one of the next 2 races and then beat Max in the other one by five places, something like that.
If he could just beat Max,
Yeah.
or come right behind him,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that'd be better.
How many points down? Like it's 255 to 118 right now.
But here's a question: if he doesn't perform well, but neither do the V carbs, can you make that change? If there's no clear replacement or no one who's performing well enough and they're all struggling, can you do that? Like if we get like next race in Hungary, say they qualify 16th or 15th, 16th, and 19th. Does any of them deserve a seat?
No.
Scraping
Like,
into Q2 and being out in Q1, like.
You know what they should do at this point if they're still struggling by summer break for the second half of the year? You can have plan A, which is we're going to go with the Arrow McLaren strategy and just start cycling everybody that we think can fit into the seat through. Or you say we're going to do the Dale Coyne strategy with the 51 and week to week. Who's the racer? We don't know until Friday. We'll let you know. Yeah. That would be hilarious, and I would respect them so much if they did that. That would just like we are a cutthroat team, and we're gonna prove it every single week. You get a 1-week contract, so let's see what you can do.
Whoever has the best performance of the 3 that week gets it.
Yeah. Let's keep swapping in and out. Liam Lawson subs in for a couple here and there.
I feel like Lawson. Why do I feel like Lawson would end up just being the best of the 3? Like
if you're out in Q1, you get subbed out for that week, so then Lawson fills in or whoever's out.
Fucking Nick DeVries comes out of the forest, starts racing.
No, let's not go there.
That would be hilarious.
Never.
That would can't you see Helmet doing that though? It's just I hate all 3 of you so much. I'm gonna take Nick DeVries and put him in the car over one of you.
Yeah, I think you're taking a guy who was also a former Red Bull driver. My God, is that a mariachi band? That's Padua Ward's music. Ward comes out of the garage.
Oh.
Speaking of award, good segue.
Oh.
There you go. Good job.
Very good segue. Question.
Okay.
Who predicted award? Did anybody predict award last week? Anybody?
Steven had power.
No.
Nobody did?
No.
Dang it!
I had Pelot in second. You know who your choice was? Was the guy who didn't start the race.
Dixon?
Oof.
Yep.
Oh gosh, what a freaking mistake that was. Also, can we just? I love the first race of the hybrid era. Dixon doesn't even start because it's like the power cuts in his car just for whatever reason.
I'm impressed with the beginning of the hybrid era. It was McLaren, Ganassi, Penske. You know, the 3 teams who have been the most testing the hybrid unit. Mm-hmm. I actually forgot McLaren was highly involved in the testing of it. If I'd remembered that, I definitely should have bet on Award.
Yeah, because you were like, it's going to be a Penske.
I thought it was going to be Penske. I'm like, yeah, Penske's been doing a lot of the testing. Yeah, so is McLaren, but fuck.
Yeah.
So.
No, I was honestly so happy for Pato. And it was a pretty good race.
Yeah. I saw it here. I didn't see it. I was looking at plans. So.
That's fair. I mean, I did see a picture of you. You looked very happy to see the planes, so.
Listen, I got to go inside a Lancaster.
That's really dope.
Shit, okay?
Yeah. That is super dope. Yeah, but it honestly, I think it was a really good race. Mid-Ohio is a good track. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm so excited for them to be in Toronto in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A week and a half.
So soon.
Hey, but before then, we got 2 other races for IndyCar. Think about that.
Oh, shit.
We do?
Doubleheader in Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
weekend.
It's a doubleheader. Right.
Yeah, after this weekend for IndyCar, we'll see what the championship is looking for that.
Yeah.
But any other thoughts of the IndyCar with the hybrids?
Oh, good Lord. This is like very distracting to watch at
it?
home. Did you watch any highlights?
No.
Of it? So the scoring pylon, they have the battery deployment / charging on. It is green for when they are recharging, red for when they are deploying, and they have it on and off as soon as the driver makes the switch. It looks like a
Very
goddamn fucking Christmas tree.
They don't need that. They do not need that.
No,
They really
or
do
at
not
least,
need that.
or at least just do like, I don't know, do deployment only. I don't need to know when they're charging.
Yeah.
I can maybe see them doing it for the first 3 races and be like, hey, look, yeah, see, we're doing the hybrid thing now. We're finally doing the hybrid thing.
Or if they're deploying and on push to pass at the same time, getting like that max power, then show
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
Max boost.
I
yeah.
don't think that's necessary to have
No.
that.
And again, maybe it's a advertising / reminder for fans for the first little bit. Like, hey, yes, we are doing hybrid engines now. In case you forgot, the commentators can't say it 400 fucking times like they did. But yeah, like, so hopefully that's the case. But yeah, that was the one main takeaway watching this race.
That's fair. My favorite part of the weekend for IndyCar was Hinchcliffe's little psych out tweet.
Which one?
I was like, I'll be getting in the 66 car this weekend
Yes.
for only a few laps to test out the hybrid system.
So that way I can explain it later. Yes.
Honestly, that was fantastic, and like, it was actually a really good segment. I didn't see them post that one of like, them kind of roasting Hinch because he did spin and he stalled.
Yeah.
It's like, a little rusty there.
Yeah, but he can restart the car now because hybrid.
Which I think is an awesome thing. Though apparently it is difficult. I didn't see that. 'Cause I was watching practice on Friday. There were some troubles with the startup, or like it's a little more complicated than it seems.
I mean, new technology. Everybody's got to figure it out a little bit first, right?
Yeah.
Like Grosjean seemed to get it started pretty quick, and that saved basically the last stint of the race and the battle for first between O'Ward and Palou. So, because if that had gone to yellow, it would have been a very anticlimactic end, or had a chance to be a very anticlimactic end. I can't remember what lap he actually spun on, but
Fair enough.
would not have been a fun end to the race if that's how you end a battle between the two young guns.
That's fair.
So.
Yeah, apparently he did make a very good move to get the win.
Award?
Yeah.
Well, it was that, and it was also Palou having a slight pit stop issue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was the big thing that like, I think it was only like 2 extra seconds. It was not a overly slow stop by IndyCar standards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing, I don't know if either of you saw the Pato's post race, but someone was asking, like, what is your feeling as you come around the last corner and you can see Palou and he's still sitting in his box, he isn't moving, and he launches late. What's going through your mind? Are you like, yay, or like, all right, let's do this? And Pato just says, only thing I thought, I got his ass.
Oh, Pato.
I'll be honest,
I'm so happy.
that's
for him.
fantastic. That's not even my favorite post-race
Patoism?
comments. No, post-race comments of the weekend.
Which one was?
Oh, cool down room for F1.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Max chirps Lewis like, oh, it's been a while.
yeah.
Oh.
And Lewis calling him a ball hogger, I thought was the funniest fucking thing.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That was
that's
good.
so
It's like,
funny.
yeah, it has been a while, you asshole. Stop winning. So that was good. Oh, also, I guess follow up from last week's conversation of how we said the Max Lando rivalry might go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that fucking fizzled out fast, didn't it?
Yeah, your hopes and dreams just fizzled so
Like,
quickly
great.
for that.
They're going to be friends and buddies and
Yeah.
respectful.
They were
Ooh.
respectful this time, but there wasn't really anything on the line. Like, Lando's tires were burnt out at the end when he made the pass.
Both of them did not even put up a fight on the other.
Yeah.
Both
So,
times.
but no,
when Lando
but
went
no.
by Max, when Max went by Lando, they were both so respectful.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, just wait a little bit. Wait till they're it's the same as Austria and they're battling towards the end of a race. Then we'll see what happens.
I think that, but I also think they may have made an agreement.
Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
I
They could have.
No, I think they made an agreement of one guy gets to make a move.
Oh.
Either defensive guy can set it or attacking guy gets to make a move. Whoever we get one move. One guy decides first, and then that's it. because that was half the issue is they kept weaving and moving all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like one guy
Yeah.
make a move, either defend or attack, and that's it.
Yeah, we can't keep throwing away points like this.
Yeah, because that's exactly what both of them did. Like on when Lando went by Max, Max hugged to the outside, Lando went up the middle. I think when Lando went by Max, Max like went to the inside, or no, Lando went to the inside, Max went on the outside when he went around him. So like, it was like, yeah, set one move and stick to it. So, which I mean, it's kind of how it should be.
Yep.
Steven, are you watching the soccer too?
Yes.
I just see your eyes on the side of your screen. Anyway, is that all we got for this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
I was gonna say we can get caught up on other stuff next week when
Yeah, exactly.
we're not all sitting here distracted.
Watching.
I was gonna say I feel like all three of us are currently looking at the soccer.
Okay, and on that note, let's get to the soccer. Thank you very much for listening to this. Remember to give us likes, give us subscribes, all the things. Follow us on social media, and we'll be back next week. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.